So we literally just finished our innovation sprint with 6 made, and the team consisted of the 2 co-founders. On my right we have
Jenna,
Karima,
and George.
And this is 6 made. So George came on board to help with UI UX and ultimately the build. And Jenna, tell me a little bit about how you came up with this idea.
it's just always been there. Like, I love street art. I'm a huge fan of my city. I'm an interior designer by trade, so organically it just came to be. And I just so happened to be with Karima one day, probably about a month or 2 ago, and got to talking. It turned into an extended breakfast, extended lunch, extended coffee, and
We ate
extended
dinner
conversation.
together.
Dinner, yeah, pretty much. And just realized it'd be a really cool thing to try, and to have her as a partner was really nonsensical. Like, just me.
And what problem were we solving that you saw clearly in the market?
So the hole in the market for me as an interior designer was there is no place in the city for me to be like to buy proper art. There's nowhere to buy original, well curated, cool shit that I would and can put in my clients' homes. So yeah, there's a gap to fill.
Nice. And where were you currently buying your art from?
I was buying from wherever I can get my hands on it, but it was part online, part in stores, but always unoriginal.
Got it. Sounds good. And so Karima, we went through the sprint. It was a 5-day sprint. We learned a lot, but just tell me a little bit what you liked about the process.
Yeah, I mean, I think the process was really eye-opening because Jen and I had a lot of ideas. We could sit and brainstorm for hours. But actually sitting down and getting those thoughts on paper, and not just on paper, but organized on paper in a way that was constructive and clearly led to next steps was amazing. I mean, at the end of each day, we could look at those sheets of paper and we could see what we had created. And we could see those ideas, and it felt tangible. And I think seeing tangible results at the end of every day really makes it feel not only like you're doing something, but it makes it feel like your idea is achievable. And that was huge. Before we got to the prototype, before we got to any customers, just the 2 of us talking and writing with Jamil's help was something that I don't think we would have gotten to on our own. And that was an experience that I think will be pivotal as we grow our business forward.
And George, tell me a little bit about like your role in this whole process. And yeah, thank you.
So Jamil and I met last week through a mutual friend, and so my background is in design thinking and engineering, so I have a little bit of prototyping experience, but not much. So I came on to the team to help turn an idea into, of course, with having everybody involved, but really leading the charge in turning an idea from paper to an actual like semi-finished product that somebody can interact with on the phone. And I think so that was the role that I contributed, and we were able to get some genuine feedback from people that we tested with on would they actually use this tool in their everyday setting.
Awesome, thank you. And so, Jenna, what was your biggest learning from the process?
Before I go to that, I want to add one thing.
Yeah.
If you're a creative person and you have a lot of ideas, this is a great thing for you to do because it organizes the idea for you and makes it more concrete. It makes it more achievable, attainable, tangible. It makes it more real. So it no longer is a hoop dream. It's more something that, how can we proceed to make this happen sooner?
Got it.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Your question.
The question was, what was your biggest learning from the process?
My biggest learning is that process happens in little steps. And it's just about persistence, perseverance, commitment, and determination. You don't start with a small picture and end up at this huge, massive understanding. You go through all these little, tiny, minuscule things to understand better what you're trying to do. So don't forget the little details, or don't try to hop from A to Z. Go A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way through.
Karima, what was your biggest learning from the customer interviews about your product idea?
Yeah, I mean, to me, my biggest learning about that process was that you can learn so much from so few people. In one day, I think one of the key things that Jamil told us that really stuck with me was that by talking to 5 people in your target market, you can get 85% of the feedback. And that's huge. I mean, I come from a statistics background. I would never have believed that from that perspective. And going through the process today, I could see how that happened. I think that was really, really critical. And coming out of the interviews in terms of tangible things about our particular product, key things we learned. I mean, we came away with specific action items of things we need to change and things we absolutely cannot touch that customers love. I can't express what that means in terms of, cost or time or anything. Like, that's invaluable information that we got in 5 days' work.
You've been handed a roadmap.
Sorry?
You've been handed a roadmap.
Yeah, interesting. So George, you conducted customer interviews today along with myself, would you say in your mind that this product idea that was presented, which is to provide the dopest street art to anyone looking for it in Toronto by people who create it, by Toronto street artists who also have a heart to give back to the community? That was the idea. Talking to 5 people, was there traction in the market?
Oh, I think with any product you will find that there are certain people that are there's a whole spectrum of people with different levels of interest in your idea. That goes with anything. And I think, and you can call yourself successful if you find that one person who really resonates, who just goes absolutely crazy for your idea. And I think we found that person, and I think that is success to me.
So Jenna, what's the next steps for you? So you, first of all, can I ask you a question? Your idea, do you think it is a efficient failure after 5 days, or do you think this idea is a flawed success?
With the excitement I feel inside of me, it 100% is a flawed success. And just building off of George's point right there, we found that person, we found our demographic, we found that target market who will be attracted and interested in a product. So it's a matter of just seeking them out, finding them, and retargeting and redistributing our data to those people and seeing what outcome.
Karima, what do you think, in your words, are going to be the next steps?
I think the next steps are taking the feedback that we got, updating our prototype, and zeroing in on that target market. So we found that one customer who loved everything we did. We could do no wrong. But let's make it even better for that person, and let's talk to 5 more of them.
How are you gonna find those 5 people?
We're gonna talk to that person. We're gonna ask him for 5 of his friends, 5 people who he would refer to. Some other key feedback we got was that referral was a huge thing in our market. So we can use the data that we found in this experience to even find more people and continue to iterate, continue to learn, and continue to build a better product that better serves our customers.
Awesome. I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. I had the greatest time. I learned so much from you guys. The greatest thing for me is to work with really young, driven entrepreneurs like yourself who want to make something. And I think we were able to bring an idea that was very vague to life in a very short amount of time. And we did it with vigor, we did it with intelligence, and we did it with process. So I want to say thank you very much. You guys are amazing. You will always be forever in my hearts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I want to add, it goes both ways. It's because of your passion as well, your interest in your choice to take part in this, that it became what it is. And not everybody would do that for us.
Thank you.
We truly are grateful for that, and we know this is an opportunity we'll remember forever, and that will take us and propel us to new levels and new heights.
Thank you. And as a reminder, I'm always around. Anytime you have questions, you come talk to me. I will always be help. I will always be of help. I will always lend my network, and I will always try to lend. If anything, it's just not me. I sort of leverage all my entire network to try to get answers or put you in the right direction, and I'm always around. I never let you go dry, ever.
Sounds good, man.
One thing is, we may have started off as 2 people, and it's a small team. But working with Jamil, we felt like we had a team of 3. Jamil brought George on, we had a team of 4. And it didn't feel like it was 2 people working on something with 2 people supporting us. We felt like a team of 4. So no matter how small your team is, no matter how much you feel that you might be alone in this process, working on this gives you a team. It gives you people to bounce ideas off of. It gives you people who have unconditional support for your idea. And that's really meaningful in this process.
And he was more invested than I could have ever expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, thank you very much. George, any last words?
Go team.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. On three. 1, 2, 3.
6 minutes.
Six, Jerry.
Go team!